'Twas a scene to remember, one of fright. There lay the body, still as the night. Oh, how unfortunate for this fellow! Now he will have to be buried below. There was no sign on how this act was done, but we knew that it had to be someone. So the search began the very next day to find the person who has run away. Because two wrongs never right each other, getting some revenge will hurt a brother. Our first character is Officer Hawks. He is serious by the way he talks. This detective is in charge of the crime. He will find the one who will put in the time. Nobody else has the skills to pursue. Only Hawks does at the age of 32. Using his strategy, good cop, bad cop, beware because his gun goes pop, pop, pop. He is head of the search that would commence, very determined to find evidence. Next was the fellow whose first name was Chad. One could say he was pretty dang rad. He had no hope of getting his degree, because he was as stupid as can be. Where he lacked in smarts, he made up in cool. He didn't have any lame molecules. With a pair of sunglasses on his head, he was about to find a body, dead. His awesomeness would not save him from trial. The detective saw him as juvenile. He was the meanest of the entire batch. This man went by the name of Turb Noskaj. His demeanor was terrible and foul, and his face he always had a scowl. Though he was a jerk with nothing but fits, he cared about none, he gave no one wit. Never kind to any single soul, his heart was cold, the opposite of full. He was bad but not worthy of murder, yet he was killed by some silent worker. Beautiful and cute as she could be, was the female who went by Tiffany. The color pink is what she loved most. Anyone who took her makeup was toast. Instagram is where she spent most of her time. Her commenters would say she was a dime. Her favorite thing to do was chase boys. With a high-pitched voice, she made too much noise. Little did she know she was about to be a suspect of a murder mystery. The ultimate geek is known as Sheldon. He won the academic decathlon. Smart and witty as anyone could be, he's got just about every degree. On his face he has a pair of glasses. He has had an A in all his classes, talking on and on about useless facts. When told something wrong, he overreacts. How could he ever do such a bad thing? He's just as harmless as a shoestring. This next man's name is too long to recall. English he does not speak, but Espanol. He goes by the name Jose Garcia. No matter what, he has no idea. He loves to make songs with the maraca. He hails from the city of Cuernavaca. Always wearing his giant sombrero, the English he knows is about cero. How could anyone as clueless as he murder somebody? I guess we'll see.
I was playing Fortnite Battle Royale last night, right? Got to second place, throws a boogie bomb at me and I died. Oh no! Turb is dead! Someone needs to call 911 right away. I'll do it since I'm the most intelligent one. Stop bragging about yourself and call. Who would do such a thing to poor old Turb? He was annoying and churlish at times, but deep down, he was a good guy.
Ah, es como salsa de tomate, deliciosa. Oh, no, ese no es salsa de tomate, es sangre.
Here he goes again with the Spanish. I still have no clue what he's saying. I know Spico Spanish. The police are on their way. They told us to stay here so they can investigate.
Hello, my name is Officer Hawks, and I'll be bringing you into the police station. So I know who you are, can you tell me your names?
My name is Sheldon. I'm Chad. My name is Tiffany.
Sir, what is your name?
He only speaks Spanish. I took 1 year of Spanish in high school, and one thing I learned is how to ask what is your name. You need to say, ¿Cómo se llamas?
Okay. Como se llamas?
Me llamo Jose Ramirez, Juan Carlos Alejandro Rodrigo, Antonio Fernando Diego Garcia.
Jose Ramirez Juan what?
We all just call him Jose Garcia.
That I can say. I'm gonna need you guys to get in the car with me so we can go to the police station. You're all gonna be questioned about what happened today. Dang it, my engine has failed.
So we're good to go then? I got plans later.
No, since the car won't start, we're gonna have to walk to the police station. I'm gonna have to put handcuffs on all of you for protocol.
Esposas, ellas están muy frías.
What? Does this guy know English at all?
Nope, we usually just ignore him.
Okay, back to business. The walk to the police station is gonna be a while. It's about 4 miles, so if I had to guess, it'd take about an hour.
I have high heels on. Is there any way I can change my shoes?
Yes, you can do that right now.
One problem. I don't have another pair.
I got a nice pair of kicks for you, Tiffany.
Please don't kick me. I'm only a girl.
No, I meant shoes. Here you go.
Thank you.
Okay, now that everyone's ready, let's begin our walk. We don't want to be stuck in the cold night. If anyone decides to try and run away, then I've been given permission to go tasey crazy and tase you, so I advise no one attempts to run away.
What if I take your taser from you and tase you instead?
Do you even know what a taser looks like?
Well, no.
I wouldn't try it.
My legs are tired. Are we there yet?
Actually, not even close. I measured the angle of the sun before we left, and using its angle now, we have been walking for 3 minutes and 27 seconds.
Good for you, Mr. Know-It-All. Sorry you have no friends other than your books and your stupid facts you prayed about.
My bad, you coolness. Being smart is the only thing I have to value, along with all of my degrees. Those which you don't have, you moron.
Hey! Stop fighting! There's no reason to be so inimical over something so stupid.
Wait a minute, I've been in this situation before, arguing with a friend.
Well, since we have nothing else to talk about, you might as well tell us your story.
Well, it went like this.
I was born into the coolest of families. My family has been in the United States' top 50 coolest families for the past 4 generations. Being in this elite group of families has been our most valued thing in our lives. This spot gives us pride and worth in life. Our most prized possession is a pair of sunglasses that has been bequeathed through our family for many generations. For members of the coolest family, there is a convention in Coolsville, New Jersey. This convention is called Cool Guys Convention and is where male members of the coolest families can go to share their coolness with each other. My family has been a part of this convention for the past century, and it is time for me to take the torch and attend the convention for the first time. My family and our neighbors, the Fredrickson family, have been family friends ever since my great-great-grandfather attended his first Cool Guys Convention. Chandler, my best friend, and I are going to the convention together. Ever since we were babies, we have always been the best of friends. Throughout school, we have struggled, nearly failing every class. Luckily, we get by with our good looks, our chiseled abs and faces, blue eyes, and bright smiles. How could anyone hate us? Before I left, I put on my white t-shirt, leather jacket, and jeans. I made sure to slick my hair back and grab my family sunglasses. Then I left to pick up Chandler, and off we went to the Cool Guys Convention. The drive to Coolsville was very exciting because neither of us had been to the convention before. We talked about our families and what we thought the convention would be like. We then got on the topic of whose family was cooler. Obviously, we each thought our own family was cooler, so we started to argue. After roughly 10 minutes of arguing, the argument escalated to where we were both yelling at each other. Chandler eventually got fed up with our arguing and took my sunglasses off my head. You can mess with my family and even my car, but as soon as you touch my family's sunglasses, then I get very angry quickly. I decided to pull over on the side of the road and take them back from Chandler. But when I stopped the car, he opened the door and jumped out. I chased him to try to retrieve the sunglasses from him. Finally, I caught him and went to grab the sunglasses from his grasp, but instead I knocked the sunglasses from his hands and they fell on the ground, and with a solid crunch, shattered into pieces. I could not believe what Chandler had done. He had broken my family's sunglasses, so I wanted to get reprisal for Chandler's action. I decided to take his family's prized possession, their family comb. I snatched the comb from his back pocket and snapped it clean in half. We wrestled on the green grass and began fighting over our broken possessions. By the end of our dispute, our clothes were ripped and our faces bruised. We looked at the time and we were to be late, so we decided to get back in the car and continue our way on the Cool Guys Convention. The remainder of the trip was very quiet and vapid. As soon as we got there, we decided to let bygones be bygones and still be friends. We walked to the front door of the huge Coolsville Cool Center with our certificates proving we are members of one of the coolest families in the United States. When we showed our certificates to the person at the front desk, he wouldn't let us in. He said that we were frauds and the certificates were fake based off our ripped clothes and bruised faces. We insisted that he let us in because we were truly cool. After several minutes of arguing, Chandler and I decided to just leave and go back home. We stopped at a restaurant to get some food. After eating, we were on our way. On the drive home, we were both very bummed out and disappointed in ourselves for ruining our family's reputations and not being able to continue our family's long-lasting tradition. As I pulled up to Chandler's driveway, our parents were waiting for us. At first, they were very angry and disappointed in us. We all went inside and talked about our trip. We told our sides of the story. When we were finished, they started talking about how two wrongs don't make a right, and just because we do not like something that happens to us, it does not mean that we should get revenge. The entire trip, as well as the lecture, turned out to be a lesson for us both. We decided to make ends meet and went to see a movie together.
Experience, I learned that two wrongs don't make a right. Revenge should not be what I do when someone does something that I don't like.
Amo una storia de amor. Es tan adorable.
Sheldon, you're smart. Do you know what Jose Garcia's saying?
Nope, the only languages I'm fluent in are English, Latin, and Mandarin.
Huh, only nerd.
That experience has a good moral that everyone here should use. Whoever killed that man should not have done it for what he did wrong.
Well, it clearly wasn't me. I could have broken a nail. Me either.
I'm well aware of the law. It wasn't me. It couldn't have been Jose Garcia because he doesn't know the difference between a brick and a marshmallow.
Whoa, I'm not accusing anybody. Calm down.
No, ¿por qué?
What are you yelling about?
Ese desafortunado día. ¿Por qué tuvo que morir?
Is he talking about that dead squirrel?
La día muerta me recuerda cuando mi pez mascota murió. Comenzó así.
Again, every time he says that phrase, he begins to tell a long story, so we will have to listen.
This'll be a while. Does anyone have popcorn?
No, just listen.
Recuerdo ese día como si fuera ayer. De niño tuve un pez mascota llamado Pedro. Amé Pedro mucho. Jugamos juegos juntos. Y vimos películas juntos. Nuestra cosa favorita era jugar baloncesto. Nos divertimos mucho que me olvidé alimentar él. Un día él estaba muy enfermo y llevamos él al veterinario. El veterinario dijo, Pedro morirá porque no ha comido por mucho tiempo. Cuando volvimos a casa, Pedro y yo jugamos nuestro juego favorito. Cuando terminamos, Pedro murió. Vi su vida pasar ante mis ojos. Cuando Pedro murió, fue el día más triste de mi vida.
Aprendí que siempre debes recordar alimentar a tu pez. Si no recuerdas, entonces tu pez morirá.
It's all collapsed so he feels good.
Ya llegamos. Este paseo es interminable.
That last word you said sounded like the Latin word interminabilis, which means interminable in English. So I'm guessing he thinks this walk is taking too long.
How much longer? After all this walking, my legs are experiencing a feeling of lassitude.
Okay, we have just about 5 more minutes.
Now I'm getting cold.
Luckily for me, I am so used to being cool that this doesn't bother me.
Well, luckily for me, I know that it is January, so I brought my coat.
Okay, I can see the police station just ahead.
Finally!
Once we get inside the police station, you will be temporarily contained in our jail cell as we individually interrogate each one of you.
Tengo hambre. ¿Tienes comida?
No.
Did you understand that?
No, I just wanted to say that.
Wait a minute! Is it that I work just across the street?
Oh, would you look at that? A walk that would normally take 1 minute ended up being 1 hour.
What the heck, man? Why would you waste our time like that?
Oh, by the way, I knew the whole time who the murderer is.
You do?
Yes, I did this to teach a lesson to all of you. I was taught this lesson as a child, so before I let everyone but the murderer free, I will tell my story. When I was a boy, I wasn't a good boy, but I wasn't a bad boy by any means. I got through high school with C's and sometimes B's. One day, somebody put a boorish note on the teacher's desk. My teacher decided to punish everyone by giving us all a detention after school that day. Nobody knew who had done it, except the person who did it, of course. I had not done it, so I was very angry that I was being punished because of something I did not do. Eventually, my teacher told us we could leave and that she knew who had put the note on her desk the whole time. We were all mad that she gave us all a detention. Her response was, "Life is not always fair, so deal with it." So from this experience I had in high school, I've learned that life will not always be fair or come easy. Once you get in the real world away from the comfort of your parents, then anything can happen, like being suspects of a murder, for example.
I'm surprised again.
Who is the murderer?
It's quite manifest, to be honest. This man is so fatuous, he left behind so many clues and did not even try to cover them up.
Well, it isn't Tiffany or me, so who did it?
The murderer is Jose Garcia. I have no choice but to arrest him for his pestiferous act.
How could you tell it was him the whole time?
Saw it on his Snapchat story.